Hello, and thank you for joining me. So, I just got back from Blade Show West 2025, and what an awesome show. Met a lot of new people, saw some familiar faces, which is always nice. And if you guys know or don't know, I do help out Concept at Blade shows here in the US. So, again, if you guys stopped by the table, again, thank you for just talking knives and checking out our new stuff. And as you guys can see here, I have quite a few concepts that I picked up. Now, I'm a little late on doing the video since I had to drive, I actually drove to the show from San Antonio, Texas to Salt Lake City. About a 20-hour drive, but got home safely. The knives got home safely as well. So with that being said, let's go over the haul, or what I picked up at the show. We're going to start off with the Chavez Redencion Xlock. So as you guys can see, this has the Axis style lock, but they're calling it the Xlock, which I think is a great name for the Chavez lineup, or Chaves lineup. Of course, you have the skull. Now, it did come with the regular clip on it, and immediately replaced it with the skull clip. And really quick, just want to show you the awesome box that it comes in. I love his boxes. They're just really pretty, well done. So you get the extra pocket clip, and then underneath, if you guys don't know, if you guys ever buy a Chavez knife, there are stickers and there is a really nice cleaning cloth under there. So don't forget about that, especially if you don't care about the box and you throw it away. There's goodies underneath. But I bought this one because it was 80 bucks, and I think they're going for 100 bucks on the website. I think the 80 was show price. But for me, just an obvious purchase because, again, it's affordable. This comes with a D2 steel blade. This is the Tonto version, and he does have a drop point version as well. I got the gunmetal aluminum scaled version with the black coated pretty much everything, just because I liked that darker effect. I think it just looks more mean and aggressive. You guys let me know. But he does have a, I want to say a lighter gray with a satin finish, or no, sorry, a black coated aluminum scaled version with a satin finish, everything basically. So, but he might possibly have more variations on the site. I'll leave a link down to the site so you guys go check it out. But what an awesome knife. The Xlock works really, really well. And what I like about the action is it grabs it from further up with the axis. So you can see right about there, it sucks the blade in, which is really nice. And then actually, it's a little bit harder to deploy it, but that's one of the reasons why I really like it. It kind of feels like not a detent, but it's a little more difficult to push out, which makes it feel like it has a detent. So that blade fires right out. Just really, really well done. And if you guys ever held a Chavez knife, super, super comfortable in hand. Not all of them. I can't remember which one, but there's one model that's a little uncomfortable in hand. But from my experience, all of his models feel really, really good in hand. It's great jimping here. Thumb studs for deployment, which work great. Reverse flick works great. But that is the Xlock Redencion from Chavez Knives. So I'm going to try to go quickly through these because there's a lot of knives and I don't want to take up too much of you guys' time. But this one was given to me by a good buddy of mine who helped out at the concept table. His name is Dave. Dave, you know who you are. Thank you for sending this home with me because not only was I deploying this over and over in the car on the drive back home, but I was definitely looking at it and getting some ideas of what to do with it, because that is why Dave sent it home with me, because I'm going to be creating a new show side scale. As you can see, this one's used and abused, which is not a bad thing, but it is just a slab of material. So it's going to make my life easier when it comes to making a custom scale for it. We haven't decided on what we're going to use for the show side scale, but we're leaning more towards a stabilized wood. But you can see right here, the button is a black pearl or mother of pearl inlay. It's really, really pretty. Fingerprints are on it, but in the right light, it just has a bunch of different colors. Definitely used and abused. It does have a rock pattern texture, but we're going to do a different texture here on the spine. But man, this thing fires right out. I don't think I mentioned it, but this is the Protek and Vero collaboration. This is the Synapse. And one thing I found interesting is that they kept the slot for when you reverse flick a regular Vero. That's just a liner lock or a frame lock. So you can't use it, but I do like that they kept it just for aesthetic purposes, just so you know you have a Vero Synapse in hand. But this thing really rockets out. I've always wanted one of these, but I'm just happy that I'm able to customize one. But that is the Synapse from Protek and Vero. And I could fire this thing out all day. This thing really fires out, and it's really addicting. Next up is, now this knife I purchased for my nephew, or I got it for him from the show, but he's really into the bali songs. Now this is, I'm not too familiar with Squid Industries, because I'm not that big of a bali guy, but this is the Squid Industries Redencion V3. Now he wanted a stone-washed blade version with, I forgot the color of the handles that he wanted, but of course they were sold out, and he saw the all-black version and definitely loved it. So that's what I picked up for him. You do have that transparent black DLC coating, which I think looks beautiful on any blade. Satin finish, stone wash finish, even polished is beautiful. But you can just see the quality they put into it. Just gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. You do have the horizontal satin finish on the flats, and then the vertical on the cutting edge, or the beveled edges. And even on that swedge, it's really, really pleasant to look at. Again, very well done. I love the handles. I believe they are aluminum. And a very beautiful matte black finish. I think it looks beautiful. They are integral, which I think is awesome. Definitely not a cheap knife. Definitely a pretty penny, but well worth it. Again, not a bali guy, but I mean the sounds this thing makes, awesome. You can definitely feel the quality. It is riding on their bronze washers, so glassy smooth. And I really don't want to cut my fingers on camera, but I want to give you guys some acoustics. So I don't know if it's going to come up on camera. Sorry for you bali guys, I'm probably butchering this, but it's just a really satisfying clunking sound. I don't really know how to describe it, but beautifully done by Squid Industries. Again, this is the Redencion V3, and I think it's beautiful. Love the texturing too, the holes. Everything about it is really, really nice. So beautifully done by Squid Industries. Now the next one is the Flitanium Arcade Light. This one is in Atomic Purple. Now the reason I bought this was because it's very nostalgic to me. I remember when I got my Game Boy Advance back in the day. It had a purple, very similar purpley blue see-through case around it. I'll try to find a picture and put it up on screen, but this knife really, really reminded me of that, and I just had to get it. And on top of that, it's affordable. It's a very budget-friendly knife from Flitanium. This is it's an injected molded handle, but it's not bad. I mean, it's definitely very squishy, but action is really good. They do put the nested liners here so that the blade and bearings actually ride on something strong. But just great action from Demco Knives Sharklock. This is their collab together, and they did a beautiful job. Very, very comfortable. Love the ergos on this thing. thumb studs for deployment, which I love that it has thumb studs because I can customize that. And just so you guys know, I will be customizing this. I do like the purple, but I'll definitely be creating some custom scales. And more than likely be selling them on the website, but that's the reason why I bought this. It does have a deep carry pocket clip, which is reversible, so you lefties aren't left out. Again, action's great, writing on bearings, shark lock, reverse flick, thumb flick, great jimping. Just overall, really great knife. Very, very simple. That's why I like it. Another reason why I like it is because of the simplicity. You do have a lanyard hole, and yeah, really good. Highly recommend this one if you're looking for just a beater knife with that shark lock strength. I think it's awesome, and they have a bunch of different colors, which I think is cool. But that is the Flitanium Arcade Light. Now this is the Mr.Mr. Designs the Zero. Very clean. I'm sure you guys are familiar with this knife. If not, again, this is the Zero, and it won, I can't remember, it won an award. I want to say best imported knife, but I think he won that award 2 or 3 times. I can't remember, but just a beautiful design. And this one is extra special because Mihai from Mr.Mr. Designs gifted this to me because I did some custom scales for him, one of his prototypes that he really loves and cherishes. I did some work for him, and I guess he just really appreciated the work, so he gifted this to me. So I'm extremely grateful. Mihai, if you're watching this, thank you again. This was really fun to just fidget with on my drive. So it's definitely broken in. It makes great sounds. I'm going to see if I can get it on camera for you guys. So just an addicting sound, especially when you're fidgeting with this thing. But I love the simplicity. Very clean. You can see the show side has no hardware, just the button. And the other side, very minimal hardware. You just have 2 screws, the pivot and the body screw, which also holds the wire clip in there. So just very well done. I am going to try my best to create a custom show side scale. Now, Mihai told me that it's probably going to be very tricky because there's a lot of milling on the inside and there's very tight tolerances. But we'll see once I open it. We'll see if I am able to do it. But really awesome knife. Very simple. Love the clean lines. And action's great. This one has Magna Cut steel. So, you know, it's got the best of the best right now. And we do have a stonewash finish on that drop point blade. A bead blasted finish on the titanium scales. And overall, just really well done. Again, Mihai, thank you so much for this. Really appreciate it. And I'm excited to do something with it. I've always wanted to do something with this design, so we will see what happens here in the future. But again, that is the Zero from Mr.Mr. Designs. Next up are going to be quite a few knives from Concept. I left with a few of them from the show because, well, you know, show prices they're just too good to pass up. The people that have been to the table, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But this is the Hazard. Definitely a Balisong inspired knife. You can see here there is, I forgot the name of this lock. I'll put it up on screen if I can remember or find out. But it's treated like a Balisong. So very unique. Highly recommend you get this in hand because I didn't know how I felt about it when I first got it in hand, but it's actually really very fidgety. There are some tricks I can do with it. But I'm limited with the camera space here. But I can spin it like this and then lock it in. So again, if you're somebody who's into Balisongs and just wants like something that looks like a pocket knife, I definitely recommend the Hazard. But this is the bronze anodized titanium handled version with the black hardware. There's blue, there's black, there's all blacked out. But you do have stone-washed blades, satin finished blades like this one. And this does come in S35VN steel, just so you guys know. But a beautiful drop point. Love the swedge too, giving that blade some character. And you do get a pocket clip, which is actually really nice. I know it's not a balisong, but it's nice that it does have a clip, which works really well too. So it's a little shorter, but it's got great retention. It works very well. You do have back spacers, well, a partial back spacer and a standoff here, but that bar in the center of this lock is pivoted to the scales, and you do have a ceramic ball on this end. I don't know if you can, or if I can get it on camera, but right there, and it forces into this little slot here, locking everything in place. And if that's down, the blade ain't coming out. So it's a really solid lockup. And you can see this section right here is what locks that blade in. So even when it's open, really solid. You ain't gonna break that lock unless your hand comes off of it, but there's no way that lock's breaking. So super, super strong lockup and very, very interesting. It's definitely a cool design. It's definitely out there, but it's in a good way. That is the Hazard. Now we have the Nahal. This is a very interesting knife too. I picked it up because it was just very unique. I'm a sucker for a harpoon, which this has. Beautiful stonewash. And this blade it's a Magna Cut, but from what Concept was telling me, this is a Chinese version of Magna Cut. So I'm gonna do some tests with it and see if it performs well. We'll see what the steel says. I mean, it's very sharp right now, but a beautiful stonewash, a nice swedge on that harpoon. You have some jimping right here. You have a slot for deployment, which works really well. With your thumb, you can reverse flick it. Just works really great. Writing on bearings, so super smooth. And I like the gold hardware. Just a nice touch against the shredded black carbon fiber scales. I think it looks really, really good. You have a titanium backspacer, a titanium pocket clip, and the axis lock works great. Awesome action. Ergos are really, really good. Smaller knife, but because of that very generous front finger choil, feels really, really good. So this is one I recommend, especially if you're looking for something unique, something different, but a lot of belly too. Really love this design. Next up is a very small knife from Concept. This is the Kipoo, K-I-T-P-U, so, you know, it's not P-O-O, but very interesting name. Love it. Very slim, very clean, very gentlemanly. And one thing that I really like that Concept did is they did a polished DLC. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up well, but just very glossy. The camera's not picking it up too well, but very, very well done. You have an interesting switch here at the top. And I really, really like that drop point style blade. You do have different inlays of fat carbon. So this is the purple haze. And then you have, I think, blue, a gold version, and some other materials. I can't remember, but I just love that they provide you with different variations. This is basically all blacked out besides the inlays. You do have a mill titanium pocket clip, which is reversible. So you guys can see it just swaps around. So you lefties aren't left out. And this works very well left-handed as well. But really, really love how clean and simple this thing is. It comes in S35VN. I believe it's S35. No, 20CV. My apologies. So 20CV steel blade. It's probably my favorite steel for a knife. Just easy to sharpen, holds an edge very well. And really, really good ergos for how small this thing is. Really no hot spots. The pocket clip does not create a hot spot, which is always a plus. But writing on bearings, so super, super smooth. And this isn't a front flipper, but you can get it if you get the sweet spot. I know I can get it with my thumb. I can almost over the top. Okay, so I can do it, but it would have been nice if they put jimping all the way around. But flipper works great. So it's got really great flipping action. That is the Kipoo. Next up is the Fenrer. This is the Axis style lock. Now this isn't a new model because it dropped a couple months ago, but this is a different colorway. So we have the blue micarta with the gold coated blade, which I think looks really good. Blue and gold, or brownish gold, looks really good. Blacked out hardware thumb studs. So I think it complements everything very, very well. But this is just a very popular model. The Fenrer is a great knife design. They just dropped the top liner lock version of this, which I'll be getting here pretty soon. So really excited about it. It was at the show. They're awesome. Their top liner locks work really great. And I couldn't be happier with the model they chose to put the top liner lock on. But the Fenrer is a great design. I'm sure all of you guys have gotten this in hand. But great ergos, love the harpoon, great action, writing on bearings, reversible pocket clip so you lefties are not left out, full liners for that strength, and if you're like me, you can create some custom scales, which I will be doing for this knife. A lot of these knives here I will be customizing, probably except for the Bali and the Chaves, but that is the Fenrer. And next one is, I bought this because of Halloween is just around the corner. Orange and black I think looks good. And you do have the flipper tab only for this. Oh, and quickly before I forget, this is the Orion. So Concept has a premium version of this knife, which is beautiful. I really love that knife, but this is the Tenable lineup. I don't know if I mentioned it on the Fenrer, but Tenable is doing the Axis style lock, which is budget friendly. I think like $80 on the website. Again, I'll leave the links down below where you can check out all these knives. But this one, it's flipper only, but really, really good, especially for a budget knife. I think these are going for 60 bucks. But I had to pick this one up because not only for Halloween, but it does have full liners. So I will be able to make custom scales for this thing. So really, really excited to do this one or customize it. But the ergos on it are really, really good. It does have a harpoon, which also helped in the decision making because I'm a sucker for a harpoon. And very comfortable ergos. Pocket clips, a little bit of a hot spot, but it's not terrible. You can kind of choke up, but you definitely have a generous sharpening choil. So that is good. You have a long life sharpening edge. But overall, really, really great knife. Again, this is a beater knife, so that is the main reason I got it. So I'll definitely be using and abusing this thing. And you do have some pretty cool frag texture or a frag pattern on towards the end of the knife, which really locks your hand in. So definitely a smart place to put it. But that is the Orion from Tenable Knives. Now this last one is the Apurvis Blades Primordial. Now the only reason I have this on the table is because I got an email just a couple of days before the show saying, or about a week before the show, saying they're ready to be shipped out. This was a pre-order. So of course it was sent out when I wasn't home. So I quickly messaged Mr. Apurvis Blades. I can't think of his name. I'm terrible with names, but I asked him if he could send it to my cousin's address, which is where I was staying, and he was kind enough to switch it real quick and send it my way, and that way I was able to get it in hand before the show. So a really, really cool knife, button lock. I don't want to talk too much about it because I'm going to be doing a separate video on this, but man, this was well worth the wait, well worth the pre-order. Let me know down below if you guys picked one of these up. Just really, really well done. I love this thing, but I'll be doing a separate video on this. But again, this is the Apurvis Blades Primordial. So that's pretty much all I picked up. I did get some materials, but I can't seem to find them in my car. So we'll see what happens. I know they're in there. I just can't seem to find them at the moment. But thank you very, very much for watching. I really appreciate the support. And just so you guys know, I didn't forget about the 10,000 subscriber giveaway. So that will be happening very, very soon. So keep your eyes peeled for that video. And as always, thank you for watching. And I will see you guys on the next one.